Joe, come here, please. Yours was working. Let's do it with one.
It's because I turned it off.
Oh.
So yes, I learned some Polish today. My first round of applause.
Dobrze, my jesteśmy tutaj tak rozgrzewkowo, to jeszcze nie leci na transmisję. Przyszliśmy się z wami tutaj troszeczkę rozgrzać. Mam nadzieję, że będziecie się bardzo dobrze bawić. Będziemy tu prowadzić w dwóch językach. Oczywiście dla was tu będą konkursy, mamy koszulki, Riot Pointsy, skiny i tak dalej, więc warto być cały czas na sali. Kto chce Riot Pointsy?
I have no idea. So we had this whole thing last year where you spoke Polish and I stand here smiling like, yeah, that's really interesting. I have no idea what you're saying.
A tak jeszcze, kto tutaj dobrze po angielsku rozumie wszystko? Okej, czyli większość na sali, ale będziemy tłumaczyć tak czy inaczej. Teraz tak, żeby przytrollować mojego kolegę, i to nie jest żart, on ma jutro urodziny. Zaśpiewamy mu 100 lat na rozgrzewkę? Uwaga, zaczynamy. 100 lat, 100 lat.
What does it mean? You guys are fucking awesome.
Joe, this is for you for your birthday tomorrow.
Okay.
Jesteście fenomenalni. Nice. Dobra, czyli ja już uznaję, że jesteście rozgrzani. My tu zejdziemy, zaraz puścimy trailer, zrobimy oficjalne otwarcie do transmisji. Czyli widzimy się za jakieś 3 minuty.
It's the biggest League of Legends event yet.
The best players from around the globe are competing for the biggest prize pool in the history of esports.
Announcing the Season 2 World Championship. Riot and the entire League of Legends community have been watching Season 2 unfold, and the competition has been fierce. Early leaders like SK Gaming, CLG, TSM, and Dignitas quickly emerged, but upstarts such as MIG, World Elite, and Moscow 5 have exploded onto the scene.
I wanted to make a statement to players around the world when we committed to a multi-million-dollar prize pool. League of Legends will be an esports leader for years to come. So far, we've awarded over $1 million in prize money to teams around the globe. And one of those teams is going to walk away with the grand prize. We can't wait to see how many summoners watch the rest of this season's events. Just halfway through the season, more people are watching League of Legends than tune in to watch Major League Baseball games on ESPN.
The regional finals will come to you live from around the world. We kick off in mainland China at ChinaJoy in July, followed by Europe at Gamescom in August, North America at PAX Prime in September, Southeast Asia, Singapore and Taiwan, and wrapping up in Korea at the OnGameNet Esports Stadium. After the regional winners have been declared, the top 12 teams will then put it all on the line during the Season 2 World Championship in Los Angeles, California. We want to show our players and the world that Riot Games is committed to elevating esports. And that's why we are raising the bar to where it belongs. This is not going to be your typical esport event. And it's all in support of the insane competition between the two best teams on the planet. The Season 2 World Championship. Tickets go on sale this summer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the European Challenger Circuit, Poland.
Tego nie trzeba było tłumaczyć.
First of all, my name is Joe Miller. Joining me is Michal Blicharz. You may know him
Michał
as
Blicharz.
Carmack. Yeah. I always have problems with his name, and I've been working with him for years, so you guys have got no hope. Carmack is basically going to be my translator, I guess, here in Poland. He won't be translating my jokes, so no worries for you guys here in the audience. You don't have to go through them. But Carmack, we're here in Warsaw once again. Amazing place, not going to lie. I love this place.
Tak więc ja tutaj jestem tłumaczem, Joe prowadzi widowisko, ja tutaj jestem tylko małym, skromnym pomagierem.
So, we're going to get straight into the games, because everyone's here to watch League of Legends. Are there any League of Legends fans here, actually?
Mamy tu fanów Lola?
Actually, I want to hear a little bit more noise than that. Are there any League of Legends fans here? You don't need to translate that part.
No, I don't.
There are lots of League of Legends fans here, which makes me a very, very happy person. So, Carmack, we've got the European Challenger Circuit. There's one very real, big League of Legends fan here, apparently. Good stuff. So we're here for, to celebrate Europe in League of Legends. We've got some great, great teams here to play this tournament.
A więc jesteśmy tutaj zgromadzeni po to, żeby zobaczyć, jak grają najlepsze drużyny Europy.
I'm still a little bit uncomfortable with this whole thing. I still don't know if he's talking about me when he translates. I think it's going to happen at least once throughout this tournament. So I think, Carmack, what we should do is get the first game underway.
Let's not forget the prize money, $40,000 from Riot Games. $40,000 do wygrania tutaj.
There is a small thing about the Season 2 points as well. Let's not forget the Season 2 Championships coming up at Gamescom. Obviously, the European Championships coming up. So this event means a lot to a lot of these teams here.
Wiele z tych drużyn walczy o punkty. To jest ostatnia szansa na zdobycie punktów, żeby zakwalifikować się na europejskie regionalne finały, więc jest to bardzo istotny turniej dla wielu z tych drużyn.
So, let's bring out the first teams for this first game. We're going to have, as is I suppose fitting here in Warsaw, an all Polish affair in this first game. Let's hear it first of all for Meet Your Makers.
Wielkie brawa! Kto z was będzie tutaj kibicował drużynom polskim w tym turnieju? A kto cudzoziemcom? So
I can't translate to English, I don't know
one
Polish.
third of the audience is going to cheer for the foreigners, actually.
Well, that's nice to see, at least. There's some support for us guys here. Let's hear it for, I guess, their opponents this one.
Let's get Meet Your Makers. Jeszcze raz, wielkie brawa dla drużyny Meet Your Makers.
So, let's see their opponents for this one. They're well known here in Poland. Let's see it for Ace of Poland. So, you guys can actually sit down.
Mokate zostanie, pozwól tutaj, kochany.
We're going to take one guy for an interview from each team. And Carmack's going to do this, and he's going to translate, because obviously I can speak English, but I can't translate from Polish to English, so I'm just going to go over
Dobrze.
there and be quiet.
To ja jeszcze mam pytanie do osób na sali. I'm going to talk to the audience a little bit. Czy ktoś tutaj kibicuje drużynie Acera? Dobrze, zanim ich odeślemy na stanowiska, poproszę jeszcze raz burza braw dla drużyny Acer! Dobrze, dziękuję wam, chłopaki. Zostaje Niku. So I'm here left with Mokate from MOM and Niku from Team Acer. I'll conduct the interview in Polish and I'll translate it into English. Mokate, wyglądasz na dość zestresowanego. You look a little bit stressed.
Nie, wydaje ci się. Raczej myślę, że już parę razy mimo wszystko na scenie stałem i specjalnego stresu w związku z tym nie czuję.
So he says, I'm seeing things and that he's not really stressed. He's been on stages before. Do you see yourselves as favorites in this match? You're theoretically the highest ranked Polish team with the biggest results. Czy widzicie się w roli faworyta tego meczu? Teoretycznie macie największe sukcesy ze wszystkich tutaj zebranych polskich drużyn.
To znaczy, ja osobiście oczywiście czuję, że my jesteśmy faworytami w tym meczu, natomiast jeżeli wierzycie mediom i to, co można było przeczytać, to takimi już pewnymi faworytami nie jesteśmy. Natomiast no pewnie, gdybyśmy się nie czuli mocniej, to byśmy pewnie tutaj nie przyjeżdżali, nie wychodziłbym na scenę i nie pajacował, także mamy zamiar zagrać dobrą grę i pokazać, jak się gra w Ligę Legend.
So the answer is that yes, we feel favorites for this tournament, but if you believe media and forums, then we might not necessarily be, but I wouldn't be here on this stage if I wasn't confident that I would come and show something good and I wouldn't clown around a little bit if I didn't feel confident. Is there anything you want to say to this audience to make sure they support you? Czy jest coś, co chcesz widowni powiedzieć?
Znaczy chciałbym podziękować wszystkim za te głośne oklaski, kiedy wchodziliśmy na scenę. Chciałbym podziękować sponsorom Razer i Western Digital oraz pozdrowić wszystkich czytelników League of Legends.pl.
So Makato would like to thank for the applause, for the warm welcome. Thanks his sponsors and the readers of League of Legends.pl. Dziękuję. Niku, czy ty jesteś zestresowany? Are you stressed?
Nie jestem.
Jesteście kłamczuchy, bo wy obaj jesteście. All right, he says he's not stressed, but I seriously don't believe them. Faworyt na papierze? Przeciwnik? Are they favorites on paper?
Nie powiedziałbym tak.
He says I wouldn't say so. Tak więc jesteś w stanie coś powiedzieć? Może coś odważnego? Jakieś deklaracje przedmeczowe? Anything brave you have to say to your opponent?
No nie mogę nic powiedzieć, żeby później się przeciwko mnie nie obróciło.
So still, he's very brave, but he doesn't want to say anything, so it wouldn't turn against him. To może coś do widowni. So anything to the audience, so you gain their support.
Oczywiście dzięki wszystkim za przybycie, za oklaski. Mam nadzieję, że się wszyscy będą dobrze bawić.
So he's... So Niku's thanking everyone for coming, for the applause, and he hopes that everybody will enjoy themselves. Thank you, guys.
I think it's time we watch some League of Legends. Who wants to see a game? I don't even have to be so, motivated myself. These guys do it for me. It's brilliant.
But they react better when it's in Polish. Kto chce coś pooglądać League of Legends?
But if I give it some motivation, I've heard them louder already today. Who wants to see a game? Who wants to see Acer versus MYM? See? Actually, I don't
My
think I
hat's
need
off.
you anymore. I don't think I need you anymore. You're dismissed, Carmack. Let's hear one more round of applause. So Acer versus MYM. We'll give it up to your commentators for this one. On the English stream, we've got Jat and Jaws.
And on the Polish stream, we've got... Holy crap. Main event and Maniek.
You can switch the camera to them now.
Jeszcze raz, wielkie brawa!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Game 1 of Group A at ECC Poland. We are live in Warsaw.
I'm pretty damn excited, Jaws.
I'm so excited. How you doing? Steve Jaws Jaworski alongside Josh Jat Leisman. And how's it going, Jat?
Yeah, it's going great. We're in a packed theater here in Poland, and I just cannot wait for this first game. The thing about these two teams is they actually have a lot of history despite not having really recognizable names. Acer used to be absolute legends, at least a lot of the members of the team, and MYM actually came in second at WCG some 7 months ago. Actually, my last tournament as a pro, they finished a little higher than I did in that tournament. But the big thing about MYM is they were actually the first team to start using pink wards aggressively. So they're really a team that's all about winning the lane and dominating it, and they don't really care that much about their full-on team comps. So I really want to see how that matches up with Acer.
Yeah, definitely going to see some early game aggression, especially coming out from Acer. Meanwhile, Meet Your Maker, as you mentioned, having some success on the international stage at WCG. What do you think we're going to be seeing from this team?
From Acer?
From MYM.
Oh, yeah, sorry, from MYM. Like I said earlier, they're going to be using a lot of pink wards aggressively, and they're going to be looking to counter-pick a lot of lanes. So really, it's just about early aggression and trying to win the lane very much so.
Well, I am so excited for this. As Joe Miller mentioned, it is an all-Polish affair here in Warsaw. These two teams competing, potentially in their own backyard.
Mm-hmm. So the one thing about this is it's a bit of a home field advantage for a lot of these guys. Sometimes in these tournaments, jet lag's a pretty big deal, not getting enough sleep coming into an event. But most of these guys had short travel turnarounds, so it does give them an edge on some of the other teams in this group. I think this group has SK and Curse EU as well, and we're seeing the two Polish teams facing off right at the start.
Yeah, absolutely. And Curse EU and SK, both extremely strong programs, especially SK, Ocelot coming into this game, actually sponsoring a team from another group, X6. So, really well done from him. And Curse EU, extremely strong showing at both DreamHack as well as so many different tournaments on this European Challenger Circuit. Now, this event is actually the last European Challenger Circuit event before the European regionals at Gamescom in Germany. So much on the line, especially for these teams.
It's also strange, we haven't actually had that many European circuit events, so that makes this one so much more important. It's actually the top 8 teams make it to the event in Gamescom, and a lot of the points are really kind of spread out in a lot of ways. The big thing is all the points are right at the top with M5, COGEU, and even SK Gaming because they got a lot of points early on in the season. But below that, it's really anyone's game. So everyone who does well at this tournament is probably going to make it to Gamescom. So it's really important, especially for Meet Your Makers and Acer, that they do well in this tournament. Because if they don't make it out of the group, they're probably not going to make it into Gamescom, which means they're going to be out of Season 2.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, Moscow 5, a commanding lead in these circuit points. They are so far ahead, and I believe CLG EU in second place. You mentioned jet lag before. CLG EU, who is in the other group, is actually going to be potentially a little bit jet lagged. They are coming from a Korean summer working in the OGN matches, and they actually went 3-0 in their group stages. So I'll be really excited to see how they match up, especially coming off of a bit of a long plane flight.
COGEU is playing great lately. They actually swept, as you said, their group in the OGN Summer League. And that's a really, really hard league. Some would say that that's one of the most competitive leagues in the world. So the fact that they're coming in off 3 straight-up wins in their group stage right to here means that they're really going to be strong. They're actually in Group B, so they'll be on this afternoon with us. And really, if you had to pick some favorites, at least for the group we're going right now, this group that has Curse EU, Meet Your Makers, Acer, and SK Gaming, who do you think is going to advance out of this first Group A?
I think Curse EU has an extremely strong roster, and they've also shown to be an aggressive team that can take an advantage and build off of it. And SK has been around forever. They are a veteran team, and they know what it takes to compete in these live events, and not only compete, but to do well. So I feel Curse and SK definitely have the best chances. However, Acer and Meet Your Makers are, they're no slouches. They've got some serious firepower, and we are definitely going to see that in this first game.
Yeah. If I had to pick 2 teams, actually, that I would put as my favorites in this group, I would actually say Meet Your Makers and Acer. I think these teams have a lot more history than people realize. They've been together for a while. They play really well together, and they have the home field advantage. So there's a chance that this could be a preview of the top 2 teams in this group. But once again, I think Group A is the most wide open group here. All of these teams are extremely close, and I just think that home field advantage for Meet Your Makers and Acer might push them over the top.
Yeah, absolutely. As you mentioned, we have a live crowd. We were watching the attendees coming in. About 1,000 people fit in this theater, and they filled it in about 2 minutes. So definitely a home crowd advantage going on. Now, let's talk a little bit more about the patch. This tournament realm is going to be on the Jace patch.
Right.
So what are we going to be seeing in terms of popular champion picks as well as strong potential bans?
So there's been a few fairly large changes since the Jace patch. We did the Stealth rework, so Eve rework, Xin rework, as well as Twitch rework are not done for this patch. A couple other things is Urgot nerfs have not been in yet. Shen nerfs have not been fully in yet. The thing that did hit in the Jace patches, this is when global alt cooldowns were extended, so things like Karthus, Shen, those have much longer cooldowns. Other than that, not too much different from our live environment, so the main thing I'm going to see is probably a lot of Urgot banning or getting picked as we jump into the picks for this Game 1.
Yeah, and we see a Galio ban going out right away from Meet Your Makers, followed by the Urgot ban that you had mentioned.
Right.
Urgot so scary with that early game poke as well as that swap. He is able to almost instantly devastate an enemy team.
Yeah, they're getting these bans off really fast. I'm looking at that Galio ban for Meet Your Makers, and I'm not entirely sure if there's an Acer player who really mains Galio. If I had to guess, though, that would be kind of... Meet Your Makers loves to win lanes, and Galio is a team fight monster, so they're probably trying to get rid of the biggest, most impactful team fight champion since they love bullying their lane so much. Then we had that Malphite ban come in as well. That's